Okay.
Okay, so tonight, we'll be talking about the bandwidth management on Mikrotik. So my name is Achmad Mardiansyah, and then I'll be speaking about the topics tonight, and then the agenda that will be discussed is here. We'll be talking about the introduction, about the bandwidth management concept, Q simple, and then firewall mangle, and then Q3. So those are, well, actually the bandwidth management is one of favorite feature from the Mikrotik. Everyone loves it, and then everyone is talking about it, and then every every mom season, mom is Mikrotik user meeting. This topic is always coming out. It seems like it's a never-ending topic. Okay, for those who are already familiar with the bandwidth management, you will feel, okay, this topic is very boring. Let's talk about something else. But some of you, especially who are new, yeah, this topic is quite interesting. Okay, so because you are managing one resource which is important for your organization, that is the bandwidth. Okay. Okay, so that was about bandwidth management, and after that we'll be talking about queue. So it's a little bit more technical about the queue itself. Okay, because queue is the one that is queuing the packets, and then we talk about the firewall mangle, Q3, and then if time permit, we can do practice. All right, let's continue. So introductions, we are GLC Networks, Garda Lintas Cakrawala. We are based in Bandung. Our areas are training and IT consulting. So we are doing Mikrotik, Ubiquiti, and Linux. We also have our own product, which is GLC Radius Manager. We also do regular event like what we are doing now. Okay, every Thursday evening, there will be a webinar that is talking about the things related to networking, operating system. I mean system administration, and then what is it? The programming. Okay, so because yeah, I mean. Uh, in my career as a consultant, those are three things that is frequently asked by the customer. Okay, so I mean, we are sharing our experience to uh, to the audience. About myself, my name is Achmad, and then I'm based in Bandung. I'm Linux user since 1999. A Mikrotik user since 2007. At the time, it was Router OS version 2.3. It was a long time ago. 2.9 or 3 dot something. I already forgot about that. So we installed the Mikrotik into a PC, and then I put the PC in my uh, a room. We put a special rack for that, and then that PC is used for managing our network, which is very cool. Yeah, because at that time in 2007, there were very less distribution that specialize for managing the networks. Okay, Mikrotik is one of them, and then I think it's very good. You can configure the Mikrotik, the router OS using the web interface. They provide the web interface, aka WebFig. They also provide Winbox so that it's a GUI interface that is installed on a client, and then the Winbox will access the what is it, the router OS. Okay, so I'm also a certified trainer, a consultant, contributors, and then guys, if you have a LinkedIn account, then we can connect. So I would be very happy if you can connect to my LinkedIn here. So more friends, more connections, more informations, more benefits. Okay, our past experience on it. Things I need to change this one because here is 2021. Yeah, so our past project was related to networking. Some are overseas, many are overseas. We do networking and then system administration. So we develop a system. So it's not only networking. So networking is just only a part of a solution. Okay, if you have a good networking, and then the solution will be much better. About the webinar itself, we start the webinar in since 2010. So yeah, 10 years ago, man. It was in the new year. So at the time we had a webinar was talking about the Solaris operating system. At the time I was working in a telecommunication company. I mean, yeah, previously I was working in telecommunication company in a vendor, in a supplier, the organization that supplies telecommunication equipments, and then the telco uh, things were based in Solaris operating system. So it has very cool feature, and then unfortunately it's not continued by the company now, the Oracle operating system, Oracle company. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Solaris. Looks like it's still being used, but not much like before. So about yourself, I can see some of you already introduced yourself. Some are from Gorontalo, okay, Semarang. Anyone from overseas? Looks like maybe, yeah. From I don't know. So can you please just say yourself here, say hi, then tell everybody where you are from, how you access this webinar. Okay. So usually there are one or two persons are not from Indonesia. All right. Thank you. About bandwidth management. Yeah, we talk about the topic now. So what is traffic control, aka bandwidth management? So management. So when you access the internet, one resource that you bought from the ISP is bandwidth, right? So bandwidth is the one that you pay. Bandwidth is the one that you consume. Okay, so the thing is we are consuming the bandwidth. So because that's the one that we buy, we measure, uh, we need to manage it wisely. Okay, otherwise everyone will fight to each other. Bandwidth will be very messy. Okay, so sometimes people talk about bandwidth management as a traffic control. Okay, so actually it's a process for managing, prioritizing, controlling the bandwidth for the users. Okay, so uh, other words are traffic shaper, bandwidth management, QoS. Okay, quality of service. Okay, so because if we are an ISP, okay, so we are ISP here. Okay, the one that we sell to the customer is the bandwidth, right? So we buy 10 Mbps, we sell 1 Mbps, right? 1/10 of our max capacity, and then we are managing. We are make sure that the customers only get 1 Mbps, right? So the purpose of traffic control is here, reduce congestion, and then the second one here is the most important thing. So avoid one client dominating the bandwidth. So you don't want, if you have a 10 client, you give 1 Mbps each for each customer. You have to make sure that this customer will only get 1 Mbps because that's what they're paying for. Okay. The users mainly are ISP. Okay, of course, telco operator. Actually, the telco operator is ISP as well. So yeah, most likely is organization that provides internet to their users, and then they want to manage the bandwidth. So those are organizations that use the traffic control. Please note that when we talk about bandwidth management, it's not always limiting, but also set a priority. Okay, because for example, you have two packages, gold and silver. Okay, so gold customer um, will get a more priority compared to other type of customer. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you very much for those who are just coming. Okay. Welcome to JLC webinar. So hope you enjoy this webinar and then enjoy the new year as well. So this is the, yeah, I think this is the first webinar in 2021. Okay. So when we talk about the bandwidth management, usually we have a stage limitation. So first is this is stage 1 and this is stage 2. Okay, like a steps. Okay, so CIR, so sometimes they provide CIR is committed information rate. Okay, so this is the guaranteed bandwidth. Okay, so we guarantee you, usually this is very small, for example, 128 kilobyte per second. Yeah, that's enough for pinging something. Yeah, so usually it's very small. And then you have maximum information rate. So this is maximum rate, but it's not guaranteed. Okay, so after you have the CIR, okay, so and then you will get this MIR. So this is known as a maximum limit. People from marketing usually sell it to up to X Mbps. BPS. Okay, so this is B. Okay, so up to 10 Mbps, up to 20 Mbps. It's not guaranteed. Sometimes, if you are in the peak hour, like we are doing today, usually for residential customer, the peak hour is usually at night. Okay, so during the peak hour, it's very hard to get the maximum speed. So the idea is first we will certify your CIR, and then if there is a bandwidth remaining, you will get the MIR. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, if you have any questions, and then yeah, you can type something in the group chat or say something. Other features for bandwidth management is burst. Okay, so burst is a method to give higher rate when the client match criteria. So for example, we have time here. So this is time, this is bandwidth. Okay, so your bandwidth actually it's only 1 Mbps, but the burst is 2 Mbps. So when you do browsing, it will give you 2 Mbps, and then after it stops, and then you will get 1 Mbps, and then after that, your web page is done. Okay, so this area here, okay, the time here, you will get a burst rate. Okay, instead of 1 Mbps, you will get 2 Mbps, but only a very short period of time. These are the parameters, but it's technical. We'll be talking about the general concept for that. So why do we need bursts? Because there are two kinds of traffic. Okay, so steady traffic consume a steady uh, amount of bandwidth. Like a voice call, video conference, and whatever. So for example, if the voice call is 64 kbps, okay, So whether you are angry, you are very happy, you are very talk very loudly, it's only always consume 64 kbps. Okay, right. So that's steady traffic. So always consume is in the same with the same amount of bandwidth. But we have a second type of traffic, which is bursty. Okay, so for example, HTTPS, SMTP for sending email, messaging like WhatsApp. Okay, so when they are accessing a website, for example, this HTTP, right? There will be a burst. Okay, so the traffic is like bursting here, and then silent, and then burst again when you open a new website, and then when you click again, it's burst again and burst again, and so on and so forth. So this feature burst is very useful if you have bursty traffic, which is now is the dominant traffic in the internet. So I think more than 40% of the traffic are bursty, especially for the website. Uh, yeah. But now I think the steady traffic, like a video conference, YouTube is very popular. So most likely, the one that is consuming the bandwidth is the video video traffic. Either, I mean, when you access the Facebook also provide video, right? Um WhatsApp also video. Uh, what else? Instagram, YouTube, of course. Yeah, it's a video sharing website. So if you go to YouTube, you always see uh, a video. So this is what example. This is an example of bursts. I think. Well, this is a little bit too much for new. Uh, we'll be talking about this later. Okay. This is how the burst is calculated. And then we talk about the bandwidth. Okay, so bandwidth. So actually, um, this page should be come first. Okay, yeah, never mind. Right. So digital bandwidth. So we are talking about digital. So because bandwidth, there are two kinds of bandwidth. So first is analog. Second is digital. Analog is when we talk about frequency. Uh, So the unit is hertz. So how many is for frequency, right? For frequency. But digital bandwidth, we measure it in bits. Okay. So bit per second. Okay. So how many cycles per second? So for analog, it's hertz. Like how many cycles per second, right? But for digital, we always talk about bit per second. Okay. Here. And then we have a unit multiplication. We have a kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte. And then, yeah, so this is what people sell, people buy, people get. Okay. So when we talk about bandwidth, it looks like we talk about commodity. Okay, commodity things like rice. Okay, the things that you eat every day, rice, bread, uh, noodles. Indonesian likes noodle, right? So having a bandwidth is a must-have an application. Okay, it's a must-have things for applications. Okay. So is your bandwidth enough? Yes and no. Depends. So usually bandwidth depends on the the rate. Okay. Depends on the application that people using, the time. Okay. Load. Okay. So this is a consumption. Okay. Consumption. Okay. So how is your bandwidth consumption? That's the big question here. Okay. So because that depends on the rate for the application, depends on the application people using. Okay. People that accessing news, okay, only news, or you open a glcnetworks.com website, that will not generate, they will not consume a lot of bandwidth compared to YouTube, right? The time here, okay, so during nighttime, usually bandwidth is peaking, but for early days like dawn or before this the sunrise, usually traffic is very low. Okay, so again, when we talk about bandwidth, uh, we talk about consumption, and usually what we anticipate is during peak hour. Okay, so peak hour usually for residential customer is at night, but for business customer, for office customer, usually during the daytime, because that that is where people are working in their office. But due to WH, so most of the time bandwidth are keep higher and higher because people are working from home. Well, yeah. So again, so because bandwidth is our need, therefore it is a good idea to manage the bandwidth. Okay, it's a kind of art, no fixed rules here. So can be flexible or rigid. Okay, so need to have a clear definition what is enough bandwidth. Okay, because for me, 1 Mbps is okay, but for other people, 1 Mbps maybe it's not enough. Okay, right. Next. So what happened? You can manage the bandwidth. Bandwidth will never enough for user. Okay, so there will be one user dominating the bandwidth. So this is the one that we are avoiding. Okay, this is very, very bad. Okay, so we want to avoid this culprit. Okay, yeah, need to have a fair share to other user, but it depends on the policy. Okay, so when we talk about the bandwidth management, clearly it's like when we design a software. So we need to have a clear business rules. Okay, so which application you want to uh, prioritize, because again, bandwidth is not only limiting but also to priority. So sometimes this one can give you a headache. All right. Look, guys, if you have any questions, and then feel free to say to type it in the group chat. Okay. So several criteria for applying the bandwidth. First, based on applications. Okay. Based on the IP address, can be single IP address or network address. So, for example, /24. So it means that all IP address under this subnet will be considered as one group. Rate, okay. So for example, you have a uh, bronze class of customer. You have silver, okay, etc, etc. Okay. Uh, depends on amount of bandwidth, so aka quota. Depends on durations, and then we provide them CIR and MIR. Okay, so that's the parameters you can configure your bandwidth. So all of them, usually it's combined with the package. And then this is what you sell the customer. So for example, package A, okay, price is 5 USD per month. Okay, maximum is 2 Mbps. Okay, so package B, for example, uh, 10 Mbps, and so on and so forth. So um, these are the parameters you can play to set up your package. Okay. So bandwidth management, I think we have done this one. So the implementation is going to be like this. So this is so when you learn queue theory, queuing theories. Yeah, I learned this one when I studied in the university. Yeah, so usually when we model the queue, it's going to be like this. So there will be an arrival, and then this is a server, and then this is the outgoing. So arrival is lambda, and then there will be a queue here. Okay, so this is a queue, waiting area. So if we turn on the bandwidth management, there will be a queue here. Okay, so there will be a queue. So all packets must be put in queue, and then from that queue, the server, the bandwidth management applications, will process the order or arrival. Okay, so that is how we uh, we model the queue. Okay, so and then here's is the outbound. So by checking this model, what we can do is we only able to engineer the outbound traffic. Okay, so it means that it's only upload or download. Okay, it's just only outbound. Sorry, the packets that coming out from an interface. Okay, so actually there is no LAN. So for Mikrotik for routers, there is no interface called LAN. There is no interface called WAN. Okay, actually those are just interface, simply just interface. So when the packet leave, and then the leaving of the packet from that interface is the thing that we can manage. We cannot control here the arrival, because the arrival is from external of the system. Okay, so this is external. Okay, so lambda is external. We cannot control it. So the one that we control is the service node here, and then the way we queue the packets. Yeah, in router OS, so where the packets are queued, well, it's queued here. Okay, so this is the what is it called? Packet processing. Okay, so packet processing, a packet flow. Okay, so this is packet flow, packet. Oops. So packet flow, which showing you the how the packet is processed. Okay, so okay, let's start with the above a picture here. So when a packet arrives at the input interface, it will check here, and then checking the pre-routing. Pre-routing will go to routing decision whether it's forward or input. So if the packet is passing through the router, okay, I say it again, passing through the routers, it will go forward. And then next to the chain post routing, and after that sending out to the interface, and then sending out to the output interface. Okay, so input interface here and then output interface can be same, can be different, can be logical, can be physical. Okay, so it's just an interface. So this is how the packet flow. Okay, so if the packet's only passing through the routers, it's going to be like this. Okay, if packet goes to the router, so it's going to be like this. Okay, packet is processed, and then after that, it will be back to the sender. Okay, so where the packets are queued, okay, they're queuing the packets in input and post routing chain. So the packets are queued here, and here. All right. Okay. So yeah, the packets is queued on these chains. There are two types of queue facility in Mikrotik. We have Q3 and simple Q simple and then Q3. So Q simple will be executed first, and then Q simple will be executed later. Okay, so usually it's done in the post routing here. Okay, so for those, this is so when we execute post routing, that is for the customer that is passing through that is for packets that's passing through the router. But for input input chain here, that is for packets. The queue is used for packets that goes directly to the router itself. Okay, so that's the basic difference between where the packet is queued in router OS. Okay, queue simple. Queue simple actually is very simple. Okay, uh, it's the easiest QoS facility for in the router OS. So what you need to do is put a name here. Okay, and then the target. Okay, the target can be IP address, single IP address, or can be a subnet mask, blah, 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 slash, whatever, 24, right? That's the subnet mask you like to use. And then you put here the maximum bandwidth you want to give to this particular target. Okay, for example, 1 Mbps, 2 Mbps, whatever. Okay. The good things for simple queue is it can be optimized for multi-core routers. Okay, so that the simple queue is executed like a firewall. So sequence is matters here. So the way you put the rules, simple queue rules in order is really determine the like a priority for that rules. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's executed sequentially. Okay, so if you put here, it will be executed first. Okay, so for example, if you have 10 Mbps, okay, and then you give 10 Mbps for the first rule, and then the first rules eat all of them, and then the rest will be nothing. Will got nothing. Okay, so that's the that's the thing that you need to be careful when you use a simple queue. Okay. Simple queue also supports parents. So when you say this is a simple queue parent, queue simple parents. So this is parents, and then this is the child, and then we have another parent 1, parent 2, and then here's the child of the parent. So the multi-core routers will allocate the resources for this parent. Okay, so one core will be allocated for processing this parent. Okay, which is good for reducing the load. Right, now we talk about the firewall mangle. Well, as you know, the mangle is a facility in the Mikrotik firewall. So firewall, when we talk about firewall, there are four main types of firewall tables. So the Mikrotik firewall is derived from Linux, and Linux uses uh, firewall IP tables for firewall. So the tables are filtered for giving a control access of an resources like a network or something. And then we have a NAT for modifying the header of the IP address, either destination IP address or source IP address. And then here is the mangle is for marking packets. Okay, and then the last one here was introduced by Mikrotik in I think 2016 or 17. I forgot. Yeah, yeah, it was firewall row. Okay, so the good thing for firewall row is they are execute very early so that it will reduce the processing of the firewall. So when you do something in the row table, it will not touch the CPU. So when we do QoS, we'll be using the mangle very extensive. Okay, so and then the action that we are using is the mark packets, and then define the packets mark packet name here. Okay, all right. So after you mark the packets, and then the packets will be queued depends on the your settings. Okay. Next is Q3. So previously it was simple Q, Q simple, sorry. So Q simple and then Q3. Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, simple Q simple is used for a simple task. Okay. But now because Mikrotik adds some advanced feature here. Okay, so simple Q simple can do advanced stuff. They can also consume packet mark as well. Okay, so previously packet mark here. So previously this simple queue they don't support packet mark, but later on Mikrotik introduced the packet mark here. So simple queue is can be used for to manage not so simple tasks anymore. So yeah, even though the name is Q simple, in the beginning it was designed to provide uh, a simple task. Okay, so this IP address, this is the uh, this IP address, this is the bandwidth, this is IP address, and then here's the bandwidth. Okay, so that yeah, that's the the idea. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it was Q simple, but for Mangle, for Q3, as you can see, when you define a Q3, okay, you have to specify the packet mark, and then all of them will be executed as one. Okay. Uh, processing in parallel execution. So each entry here will be executed at the same time. So Q simple is executed based on the order, right? Order number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they are executed in orderly manner. But for Q3, it is not. Okay, so all of them will be executed in the same time. Okay, parallel. So that's why I think if you want to modify, for providing the priority, I think Q3 will be a best choice because all of them will be executed at once. The thing is, because they're all of them are considered as one whole group. Usually for processing this, it requires one CPU, okay, for processing this. So that you will see when the package is, when the processing is very busy, very high, you will see there is one CPU is very busy, and then usually that one is allocated for processing the Q3 here. Okay, but that's okay. As if you have a good processor, a good router, x86 is excellent. I like it, especially for doing the queue, and then you should have no problem with that. All right, what's next? Oh, live practice. Yeah. Okay, we can do live practice. I will share you the access to the live practice server so that we can play something with it. Okay, while waiting, I will share my whole screen. Guys, do you have any questions so far? Okay, no questions. Okay, let me share here. Live practice. Okay. Where's the live practice here? Okay, I'm still looking for the live practice things. Okay, where is it? Oh, maybe I can show it to you. My Winbox here. It's my own router. Okay, so I have a queue simple. Okay, it's very easy. So this is for an example, group rate. So you put here a group of network, and then you allocate them 10 Mbps. Okay, so they all all hosts in this a network will fight for 10 Mbps. Okay, sorry guys, I'm still looking for a live practice uh, document here. Okay, let me look at it. I didn't see it. Okay, maybe later. Oh, here. Okay, found it. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so that's how you define the queue simple. Okay, you go to queue and then simple, and then put your rule here. Okay, so because I put here for this is just an example. So as you can see, order here is matters. So rule number 1 here will be executed first. Okay, then the later number. Okay, so if, for example, this one already consumed 10 Mbps, others will not get anything. Yeah, because that's the rule, right? Is it fair? Well, that depends. Okay, that's the thing. That is you who defined how what is the fairness. Okay, is it fair? Maybe. Yeah. Why the person is allocated more bandwidth compared to others? Yeah, because he's the boss, man. Okay. uh, yeah, he's the owner, so that he can consume bandwidth as much as he likes. Okay. Again, uh, a big question for bandwidth management is your business rule. Okay. And then from the business rule, uh, we implement the what is it? The technical rules on Mikrotik. Okay, so that was a simple queue. Next is a firewall mangle. Here it is. For example, yeah, I put the packet mark here. So from ISP to LAN, and then I will mark it as packet ISP international in. Okay, and then based on those packets, I set up a simple queue here for managing those packets. Okay, if we don't put mark, and then we cannot do any, I mean, the queuing is not active. So as you can see here, so queuing here is only active when you activate it. Okay, so you put mark packets here, and then the packet will be queued. And then Mikrotik will process the packets, depends on the algorithm. Okay, and after that we'll release the packets based on this algorithm. So what are the algorithm? Here are the algorithm queue types. Okay, you can have FIFO, first in, first out. BFIFO means bits, and then I have PCQ, per connection queue. PFIFO means packet FIFO. You have RED, random early detection, and then SFQ, stochastic fair queuing. All right, I have a question here from Permana. I use Haplight. Okay, all users are using Wi-Fi. Can it share gaming and streaming traffic? Yes, it is possible. Yes. And then each user has a limit. Yeah, it's possible. Okay. So again, I think before we implement here, putting here a cube, set up a marking, the first step you need to do is set up the business rules. Okay. So for example, you need to have a document here, QoS rules. Okay. Priority 1. Yeah. Okay. And then you define traffic, Voip traffic. Voip traffic. Okay. Zoom traffic. Okay. Because that one needs to be real time. Ping, maybe. Ping traffic. Okay. So whatever traffic. Okay. So from this, you execute the definition, the technical definition. So what is VoIP traffic? Okay. Is it something to do with the TCP or UDP port XXX? Okay. Ping, that one is for ICMP. Okay, ICMP has to be higher priority, for example, and so on and so forth. Okay, so for this one, we cannot just rely on traffic on QSimple anymore, because QSimple queue simple, we just only define based on the target here. And the target can be interface or IP address. Okay, so because what we want to queue is the VoIP traffic. Is VoIP traffic always using this IP address? No, it's not, right? Because one host can use VoIP, can use Zoom, can do browsing. Okay, so yeah, uh, uh, simple queue is not that simple anymore. Okay, so that's why now, as I mentioned earlier, a queue simple, even though it's queue simple, now it has a more advanced feature. So we can define a packet here. Okay, so previously there is no option for packet marks, but now it is possible. And also we can use a parent. Okay, parent, right? Parent traffic. Okay, so it looks like close to the Q3. Okay, so yeah, so with current advancements of Q simple, it seems like the boundary between Q3 and simple Q are not really um, very clear. Okay, because now simple Q can support parent. Okay, and also can support marks. Right, so hopefully that answer questions, Parmana. Okay, so let's log in to the live practice. Any more questions? Okay, so I already log in here, and then I try to log in to router 1. Oops, something's not right. Maybe router 2. Uh-oh. Okay, we have problem. Okay, maybe we can do it later, but at least I already share my screen here, and then hopefully you can follow with your own router OS at your place. So it should be same then. Okay, next, torrent is consuming a lot of bandwidth. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, it's a good question. Well, actually, for torrent, the thing is, how do we identify torrent? Okay, and then we can say here, so we have maximum 8 priority of traffic, okay, in router OS. So torrent traffic. So currently, so previously, torrent is a big problem for ISP, yeah, because they are consuming bandwidth to the maximum, but which makes other people suffer, okay. Yeah, so some user, they already consume torrents, and then torrent is really consuming their bandwidth to the maximum. Okay, so if you just browsing the internet, watching YouTube, that one can be managed, but torrent is not. So, and then it's peer-to-peer. It's quite hard to identify the torrent host. Okay, so previously there was a mangle here. There's an option for torrent, but the Mikrotik already deleted anymore. Okay, so usually there is a an option here for torrent, but they don't put it anymore. Why? Because it's quite hard to identify torrent, because nowadays torrents are encrypted. Okay, So we don't know whether this packet is from YouTube, because YouTube is encrypted, you know. Is it VPN traffic? Is it whatever traffic? Okay. So what you can do is you need to have um, thinking out of the box. Okay. So you define all the allowed traffic. Okay. So it is the mechanism for defining the rules. Define all allowed traffics and then block or love block others. Okay. See, there are two types of. It's similar to firewall, right? So either you have option one. I put here option one. Option one, you block some traffic and then allow all. Okay. Or option two, you define all allowed traffic and then block others. So it's up to you. Okay. So you define clearly in your network that, okay, I'm only allowed port 80, TCP port 80, TCP port 443, and so on and so forth. And then I will block others. Okay. Or this is what people do, right? But sometimes not working, especially for identify the torrent. Okay. So you try to identify, in order to block some traffic, you need to identify the traffic. But for torrent, it's not always that easy. So you can define layer 7 protocols, but it's not always correct. And then the bad thing for layer 7 protocol is that they are consuming a lot of CPU processing. All right, so I think time is up. Anything else? Any questions? Okay, so it's time for us to say goodbye, and then yeah, I'll see you in the next time. So if you are interested, please come to our training. The schedules are available in our website. We also open the internship. Okay, please ask the admin for internship um, internship information. Okay, and then I'm sorry. If you don't mind, please submit your feedback here to make us better. We'll upload the slides and then the recording on YouTube. Okay, we'll share the recordings on our website. Okay, so we just take the snippets and then put it into our website. Any questions? No? Okay, if not, and then I think we can stop the webinar. Any word from admin?
Yes, all right. I
Go
think
ahead.
everybody is content. Oh, okay. One person wanna ask?
Okay, any question from somebody? No?
No?
Okay.
Okay, I think everyone is understanding already. So thank you so much for your comings. We hope this webinar will give you good benefits and value. Please submit your feedback because really this feedback really important for us. For who want to know about internship, just WhatsApp or admins. And about schedule, you can check in our website for the training. And thank you very much for your coming, a person from Albania, Bangladesh, and Africa, and of course Indonesia. Much appreciated for your coming. And the last request, can you please turn on your video and we may take picture together as a
Oh, yeah.
documentation?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys,
Please.
please turn on your video. I mean, camera. It looks better. Looks handsome.
So everybody, thank you for coming, guys.
Okay, so we're going to take a picture. Please turn on all of your cameras, guys. Right, so let me take a picture. 1, 2, 3.
With a smile, with a smile.
Yeah, please
With a
smile.
smile face, please.
Okay. Smile, please.
And
Okay,
one more.
I'm going to
Can
take
you
another
please?
pictures.
Yeah. With
1,
2 thumbs up.
2, 3. Okay, thumbs up.
Thumbs up,
1,
please.
2, 3. Okay, anything else,
Thank
admin?
you. Yeah, I think that's
Oh,
enough.
thank
So
you very
waiting for
much. Yeah,
yeah.
thank you for your
But
handsome
can you
face.
please yeah, can you please put the feedback so we can improve our service in the future?
Sure,
Thank
yeah.
you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Good evening. Bye.